Hi, welcome to my beautiful unschool life. My name is Erin. Unschooling is a philosophy of learning. There is no teachers, there's no curriculum. You're just driven by your curiosity and by your passion. And that's what I do here on this channel. I don't teach anyone how to build a tiny house. I don't teach anyone how to homestead, and I don't teach anyone how to homeschool. All I do is I follow my passion and I follow my curiosity, and I show you what that looks like. I show you all my mistakes, I show all my failures, I show all my successes. Today's episode begins a new season, spring of 2025. This is the year that I really feel like I have my feet under me after several years of moving around and not really knowing what I'm doing. There's been a lot of failing, a lot of stumbling, a lot of fumbling, but this year, all of the hard lessons that I've learned are going to be put to work. I'm really excited to show you what happens with the 2025 growing season. So I'm supposed to be organizing my seeds. Okay, organizing my seeds, shopping for the new seeds that I need to buy this year, and planning the garden layout. And it's a really big job, and I'm kind of stuck, and I'm not really sure how to begin or how to do any of this. I've only really been gardening for like 5 years, on this scale. I grew, 5x5 garden for years, but on the large scale, I've only been doing it for about 5 years, and I get bigger every year. And I still haven't quite ironed out how to do all of this. And this is my second year doing the farmer's market. So I also really want to take what I learned from last year and try and make a lot of changes so that this year goes much more smoothly. So I'm kind of bumbling my way in the dark, not really sure what I'm doing. So the first thing I did was some of the seeds that I saved last year, I just put those in envelopes, and I put some of them in a pile to be put in my seed cases, and I put some of them in a pile to do germination tests, and some of them also need to be cold stratified. So that's what I've done so far. And now I'm not quite sure what my next step is going to be. So I think what I'm going to do is I have all of these tags of all the things that I grew last year, and all the things that I sold in the farmer's market last year. So I'm just going to start by making a list of what I grew last year and marking down which things I want to have again this year. I think that maybe that's the best way to approach this, is just to make a wish list of what I want to grow. So, so that wasn't super helpful, but it did sort of help me realize what I need to do. And I think what I need to do is I need to create a database of every single thing that I have. I did this in my very first year gardening with a big garden, and I found it really useful. So I'm going to try creating a database. I've got my laptop. I'm going to use an Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to put in every single variety that I have. But also, this is my one little neuroticism. I never throw out a seed packet. So this box here is full of all the empty seed packets of everything that I've grown in the last 5 years. So I'm going to create a database of everything that I have and everything that I used to have. And in there, I think I can keep track of, for instance, how many seeds are in the packet, what time I need to start it in the garden, and I can even sort of put in notes about where in the garden I think I want to grow it this year. I think maybe that's the best way to approach this. I was hoping I could avoid something that in-depth, but I think I'm at the size now where I really do need to be that organized, and it's probably a good idea. If I start the database now, I can probably use it year after year after year. So fingers crossed that works. Okay, organizing seeds has been a really big task. It's taken me a few weeks, but I'm mostly finished. So I have all of my seeds fit into these 3 cases. I have organized them by the date that they need to be started. So 10 weeks, 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, direct cold and direct warm are in these cases. So if you look inside, most types of seeds that I have enough to fill 1 container each. So these are ones that I don't have a lot of, so they get their own container. I've also labeled exactly what's in there because I cannot tell you how many times I have opened and reopened a case trying to look for one particular type of seed. So hot peppers, regular peppers, celery, flowers, eggplant, loofah, onions, and leeks, herbs. These are tomatoes that I have saved. These are regular tomatoes. These are cherry tomatoes. That's how many tomatoes I have. I need 3 boxes to hold all my tomatoes. This one's empty. So see, I have room for more seeds. So everything in these cases has been entered into an Excel spreadsheet on my laptop. And I have 367 varieties of seeds, but that's not all because I forgot about this 1 container here, and then I also forgot about these things here that were cold stratifying in Dawn's freezer. There's a few more things here that were cold stratifying in Dawn's freezer. And today, so the librarian who's gotten to know me and my love of plants just gave me a great big stack of more seeds. She said they're a bit old and they might not be viable, but it's something for me to try out. So I have not finished cataloging my seeds after all. And there are some that I didn't even bother cataloging. For instance, this is a bag of flower seeds that I'm just going to broadcast plant all over the property. And this is a bag of squash seeds that are either older or potentially hybrids. And I will also just I'm going to pick a corner of the property and just give it to squash and melons and that sort of thing. I also have another container of seeds. This container here is crammed full of things that I'm going to do as microgreens. And those microgreens, they're mostly for me and for Bethany's rabbits, especially during the winter when there's no plants growing. We like to give them microgreens. And I've been using this thing here to grow my microgreens. I'm really loving it. I found doing sprouts was a bit of a chore for me, and I couldn't find a routine to make it work. But that thing has made it possible for me to, it's just sort of simple enough that it works really well for me. So I'm not entirely done. There's still a lot of work on this to do, but I have gotten to the place where I can finally order the new seeds that I need to get for this year. I am getting quite a few plants. So there's a place that I order seeds from that they've got an amazing selection, and I'm ordering quite a few plants from them. I really only wanted 5 different kinds of plants, but they have a rule that you need to order a certain amount. So I had to order 3 extra things that I wouldn't normally have ordered. I'm getting lemon thyme, which is a plant, horseradish, which is a plant, seeds, sweetgrass, which is a plant, seeds. This raisin tree I'm really excited about. It's not something I need at all. So the main things I'm getting new this year are I'm getting more greens, I'm getting more edible flowers, and I'm getting more things that are medicinal. The big seller that I had at the farmer's market last year was the build your own salads. So I bought a few new interesting things to go into the build your own salad. And I really have been enjoying getting into the medicinal herbs, so I'm going to get a few more things there. And for salads, I'm also getting some more edible flowers and a few things that I've just run out of, that I grow every year, that I've run out of. and a few new things. I'm really excited about this new tomatillo. I've always loved Chieftain Savoy cabbage. It's always a winner. And a new kind of cucumber, and I don't really know why I'm getting a new kind of cucumber because I never have success with cucumbers, but I'm gonna give it a try. There's a few really obscure things that I've been trying to find. Someone requested this melon. It's also known as a Santa Claus melon, or what did she call it? Toad melon. She called it toad melon. So I've only found one seed company that sells this. Unfortunately, it's in the States, and I'm trying really hard to not buy anything from the States this year. So I've been really happy that I've been able to find everything else that I want in Canada, but that melon I have not been able to find in Canada. I'm going to keep looking though. I'm not going to buy that today. I'm going to sit on that for a little while. There are two other things. Someone has requested these Huckleberry Gold potatoes. I cannot find them as seed potatoes anywhere, but I can find this organic grocery delivery service that carries them. So I'm contemplating ordering it from them and just planting them, because potatoes are seed potatoes, right? Potatoes are the seeds. The only problem is this grocery company, you need a minimum order of $30, and they don't deliver to my area. So I'm thinking of having a friend who lives in the city maybe order her groceries from them for 1 week and adding these potatoes on. And then similar with these, someone has requested I get my hands on Hannah sweet yams, which are they're white sweet potatoes. And again, this is a grocery delivery company that's based out of Toronto that has these. So I'm gonna look into seeing if I can get my hands on them at some point. It might not happen. I don't know. We'll find out. So anyways, I'm going to order those 3 orders today. And it's definitely late. Usually I like to have my seed orders in January, and it is almost March. So I'm definitely already behind on the year. The warm weather has arrived after 2 months straight of freezing temperatures. We have a 2-week forecast which has above freezing temperature during the daytime. It's still going to be freezing at night, but this is a big deal. Above freezing temperatures in the daytime is a big deal. So my first mission is I need to separate my chickens. So for the winter, all of my chickens have been together in this coop. This coop is insulated, and with 30 chickens inside, they're able to keep the temperature in there 5 to 10 degrees warmer than the exterior temperature. So I keep them all together in there for the winter so that they can keep each other warm. But now that the warmer weather is here, I want to separate them because we want to try to breed some purebred Copper Morans. This here is my Copper Morans rooster, and even in the insulated coop, with 30 bodies keeping him warm, he's still got pretty nasty frostbite on his comb and on his wattle. So I need to move him and his 4 Copper Morans hens into the other coop where the ducks have been, which is not insulated. So this coop is much smaller, and with the temperatures that we're going to have over the next 2 weeks, I'm confident that it's not going to be any colder for him here than it was in the big coop when temperatures went down to like -20. So we're not ready to breed them just yet, but somebody laid an egg. So we're not ready to breed them just yet, but hens can hold on to the rooster's sperm for a month or even more. So we want to make sure that my Copper Moran's hens have been separated from the other roosters for about a month before we start saving eggs for hatching. So if I separate them now, that means that we can have eggs ready for the beginning of April, which is cool. That's good timing. The weather should be warm enough by April for the silkies to be hatching some eggs. The first mission is there's some situations that have been created by the winter. For instance, I haven't been able to close this door because there's been a mountain of snow in front of it. So I need to clear that out. I've started clearing that out. Secondly, the door between the two different runs has shifted. With all the cold temperatures, this door has shifted and I can no longer latch it. So I've got my drill, I'm gonna just move this down. My fences are probably going to need to be replaced. They suffered some pretty serious damage, both from the snow and from right where this cage is set up. I had a possum coming in and out and he ripped a big hole in my fence. So there's a hole there, there's another hole over there, and there's another hole here. For now, I'll just patch those holes with zip ties. But I think I might need to spring for a new fence. It's not in my budget to get a higher quality fence. If I can maybe get this fence to last until next year, I'll try to do that. If I can get it to last till next year, maybe next year, it's in my budget to get a better fence. But the thing with fences is that none of them really keep predators out. If I had a very expensive fence, raccoons and possums can climb over it. Rats can chew through it or dig under it. Foxes can dig under it. There's not really many animals that get stopped by a fence. The only thing that my fence stops is the chickens and the ducks. So since I let them free range a lot of the time anyways, investing money into a new fence isn't really something that is high on my priority list. It's hard to do when I'm holding a camera. Okay, I'm starting onions today. I'm doing a couple of things differently. I got these last year. I quite like them because it gives me a lot more flexibility. When you have a big tray that's 72 holes all on one tray, once things are in, you can't move them around. So if I have something that's cold tolerant next to something that's not cold tolerant, they're stuck together until I repot them.
Mom,
yes.
can the axe go into the wood?
Yeah, I can too. Yeah. So we have a house chicken now, do we?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think is wrong with her? Any guesses?
No.
No.
Well, wait, she's just a little sick.
Yeah. Have you heard any coughing or sneezing or anything like that?
She sneezed once, but she usually sneezes.
Oh, okay.
I see loads of chicken sneeze.
Yeah.
I hope it's not too serious.
Yeah.
I don't want her to die.
I'm definitely concerned about her brain. Because it's her balance, right? She's been tripping and falling and losing her balance.
That happens if you don't have enough sleep or sleepers.
That's true. That's true. And sometimes brain damage is just temporary, right? Brains can heal.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But prepare yourself for the worst. Hope for the best and prepare for the worst. That's what we should do.
Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Okay.
All right. So if I'm putting things in this by each variety, it means that I can move them around as I need to. The other thing I am doing differently is, so I've been using popsicle sticks for a couple of years now. Lessons I've learned the hard way. I'm going to write on both sides because sometimes it fades on one side. So if it's written on both sides, I'll be able to see it even if it fades. Also, I'm putting these blue dots on here. That is to signify that these plants can handle cold temperatures. Because as spring progresses, some nights the temperatures drop down below freezing. And some plants can handle that, and some plants cannot handle that. Some plants, like peppers and melons and squash and cucumbers, if they go below 10 degrees, it stunts their growth. That doesn't kill them, but they don't grow. So some things it's really important to keep an eye on what temperature they can handle. So I'm going to try these blue dots on these because these can handle cold temperatures. I'll put red dots on ones that cannot handle cold temperatures, and hopefully that will help me organize once I start having more things than I know what to do with. The other thing that I have learned about using popsicle sticks is you have to use the right kind of pen. There are some pens that are a little bit more like a marker type ink, and those ones, the ink runs as soon as the popsicle stick gets wet. So you have to use I have to use a ballpoint pen when I use popsicle sticks. Valuable lesson that I have learned.
If you see it, she's just staying absolute still.
Yeah. Yeah, she's definitely struggling.
Hopefully she gets over it. I'm just gonna clean her up a bit. Perfect.
Yeah. Does she open her eyes at all, or does she keep them closed
She
all the
opens
time?
her eyes sometimes, but like, I think it feels better for her to close them.
She's not looking good.
I know. Trying to clean her up so like it doesn't get too bad.
Yeah. So what are you doing there?
Planting seeds.
Planting seeds? What are you planting seeds for?
My garden.
For your garden?
I guess I would not put them in my garden and then sell them.
You're gonna sell them?
Maybe.
Yeah. What are you selling to the farmer's market this year?
Plants.
Plants, yeah. What did you do last year?
Sensitive plants.
Yeah, sensitive plants. And did you make money? Yeah. Did you like making money? Yeah. So you're looking forward to doing it again this year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Do you find plants are easy or difficult?
Like you do have to wait a long time, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't actually. Like grow and just die.
Yeah, sometimes they die, yeah. So you're gonna grow sensitive plants again this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to buy some seeds though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're also growing. What else are you growing here? Do you know what those are?
I can't remember what it's called.
Yucca. Yeah, yucca.
And bamboo. Bamboo.
Yeah. And then we also planted some prickly pears, but they might take a long time. Prickly pears take a long time to grow from seed.
But they can handle the cold.
Yeah, they can handle
Just
the
like
cold.
this can handle the cold.
Yeah.
But these can't.
No, bamboo cannot. Cool.
Poor girl. I feel so bad for her. Hazel died. I know to not have any food. Oh, if I do have a favorite, don't say that. This is magic.
Yeah.
About to set. Look at my picture of Hazel.
Oh, that's a good picture of her. That looks just like her.
Kinda. I don't know. It's so funny.
Well, she's all hunched down right now, and you captured that.
I think this should be in an art museum.
That is a pretty accurate illustration of your what stuffy is that? I'm trying winter sowing this year. I'm not going all in. I'm just doing a teeny little bit. The thing I'm starting with is some stuff that is supposed to be cold stratified, but I forgot to do it. The strawberries have been outside for maybe a month and a half. The grapes I only put out about a week or two ago, and the prickly pear hasn't cold stratified at all. So I'm just gonna give it a try and stick it outside and see what happens. I've learned that you can never label things too much. So I put a label here, and the sun's probably going to fade that one pretty quickly, so I put it on that side as well. And then each of these containers is also labeled down there. I couldn't label with popsicle sticks because these are too tight. These containers are too tight for the popsicle sticks to fit. So I'm just going to put this outside in the snow where the garden is and see what happens. All of these things have cold stratified. They've all been in the freezer since last year. These are mostly experimental. They're like seeds that we've saved from things. The only thing that's actually from an actual seed packet is this New Jersey tea back here. This is all very experimental. This is all just, we'll put some seeds in some dirt and see what happens. Hopefully, good things. Yeah, me too. How you doing? You feeling confident? Oh boy, look guys! March 5th and it's 15 degrees today. So when we got up this morning, Dawn was already out getting all the maple syrup stuff ready to go. This will only be our second year doing maple syrup. This is all Dawn's thing. Last year I suggested we tap one tree just so that the girls and I could like learn about how maple syrup is going. And Dawn just dove all in and he made, I don't know, I guess 10 jars of maple syrup. We have, I think, 12 maple trees on the property. So this year he has proper maple syrup equipment. He has a proper evaporator and he has the proper buckets. So he's really enthusiastic and he's raring to go. So hopefully it'll go really well this year and it'll turn out better than last year. There was a lot of fumbling last year because, you know, when you're learning something new, there's a lot of fumbling. I'm not going to talk about human politics, but I can talk about chicken politics. So I have 4 roosters. Penguin is my oldest rooster. We've had him for 4 years. And then we've got 3 other roosters. T-Rex, Daddy Longlegs, and the Little Jerk. The Little Jerk doesn't even have a name. He's on the chopping block in the next few weeks. Nobody likes him. He's just the Little Jerk. So they spent the whole winter together in this coop here, and the enforcement of the pecking order has been vicious, and our favorite rooster, Penguin, has been at the absolute bottom of the pecking order. The one who's meanest to him is T-Rex. The next meanest is the Little Jerk, and Daddy Longlegs mainly leaves him alone. Last night we moved all of the copper Morans from the big coop into this little coop here because we want to make sure that when it comes time for breeding that our Moran's hens have only been bred by our Moran's rooster. What's really weird is how much that has changed the dynamic. So T-Rex, top of the pecking order on that side of the fence. On this side of the fence, he's hiding in the chicken coop. He won't even come out because I guess he's afraid of the ducks. Meanwhile, my rooster, Penguin, who's at the bottom of the rooster pecking order, is viciously mean to the ducks. He has actually pecked a duck's eyes badly enough that she couldn't open them for 2 days. But now that T-Rex isn't over here, now Daddy Longlegs is picking on Penguin Daddy Longlegs used to not pick on Penguin at all, but now that T-Rex is gone, Daddy Longlegs is in competition for alpha, and he sees Penguin as a bigger threat than the little jerk, because the little jerk is so little that even the hens will fight with him. That's him there. Even the hens will fight with the little jerk because he's just so little. So Daddy Longlegs is now picking on Penguin, when before Daddy Longlegs didn't even bother with Penguin because T-Rex kept Penguin in his place. So Penguin just flew over the fence onto T-Rex's side of the fence to get away from Daddy Longlegs because he's safe over here, because T-Rex is afraid of the ducks, but Penguin is not afraid of the ducks. Did you catch all that? It probably will never look that clean again. I hope that doesn't happen. But it's nice to know that that store is right there and that they can do it just in a day. It's not cheap, but... And we're back! Yesterday was 15 degrees and sunny. And today, the winter has returned. The chickens are not very happy with me right now. They're like, but we want freedom, we want grass! And all you get is snow and wind and miserably uncomfortable. Sorry! So last year, Don boiled down all the maple syrup in his house, which made his house smell delicious, but it just wasn't really economical or just efficient. So we are building a fireplace out here. He's got a whole bunch of bricks that he salvaged from a job, and yeah, we're gonna build a fireplace. So Hazel had a seizure the other day on Thursday, and she had a really hard time recovering, but by today she was feeling a little bit better. So I brought her outside to spend the day in the sun, and then I accidentally let the chickens out, and as soon as she saw the chickens, she started looking for her mom. So I went into the coop and I got her mom and brought her mom out and stuck her with her. So Hazel's very happy to be back with her mom. So I think she will probably go back to sleep in the coop tonight, but I'm expecting her to probably have another seizure again. I think she's probably had two, so, you know, I'll keep an eye on her, and if she's acting weird again, the girls will, I'm sure, bring her back into the house. So it is Thursday, March 13th. It is a nice warm sunny day, and I am cleaning out my greenhouse. The first mission is to drain the IBC tote. I didn't want to flood the greenhouse, so I found this piece of some trim from something and created a little canal to flood in front of my greenhouse instead of inside my greenhouse. The next mission is, I've been storing stuff in here all winter. Anything that I wanted to keep dry but that didn't need to be warm, I've been storing in here. So I started pulling some things out, some sunflower seeds, some tobacco seeds, some poppy seeds, some dill, some brassicas that I didn't label. I found some mullein seeds that I harvested off of a plant in the field. So I don't know where most of that's gonna go. I don't know how much space I'm gonna have in here. It's hard to get a sense of how much space there will be in here once this is out. So that's my first mission, is to clear space, remove that wall over there, and get this IBC tote out, and then put my shelves up in here. And once I have that done, then I'll have a bit more of a sense of how to organize all of my stuff. And that is the mission. It's the only thing I want to get done today, is this. I mean, I'd like to get more done, but this is I'm keeping my expectations low. And the thing is, with all these seeds, I don't need these seeds. I have millions of seeds of all of these things. I save seeds from them every single year. I use a fraction of what I save. I don't need this many seeds of any of this stuff. But I don't want to waste them. They're perfectly good seeds. I wish I had just a meadow where I could just spread seeds and let them do their thing. That would be a dream of mine, to have a meadow just full of random dill and brassica and poppies just everywhere. That's... Alright, we're getting there. I managed to mostly clean the greenhouse out. I've taken part of this wall off. This part here is now open, which hopefully is enough to get the tote out. I think I'm going to have to take the top off too. Impressive amount of space in my greenhouse. It really makes a big difference not having that IBC tote in here. So I have 2 more of these shelves that I will bring in eventually, but right now they're in my house for really baby vulnerable plants. And then when things get a little bit hardier, then they'll come out here. I have some insulation. I'm gonna put some small pieces and 1 really big piece of 2-inch thick styrofoam insulation. So I'm gonna put that under them at the ground level so that the coolness of the ground doesn't affect the plants. And then I'm gonna put some little electric heat mats on the bottom shelves of, I think, every single one of these. And then I have my high-low thermometer that will tell me how cold it's getting at night. And I will make sure to test it before I bring any seedlings out here, because there's nothing worse than putting all the effort in to grow seedlings and then accidentally killing them because the temperature wasn't what you thought it was. Winning. So I bought seeds for lemongrass this year because I want to grow everything. And the instructions on lemongrass say it's really hard to get it germinated. You need to keep it dark and you need to keep it really warm, and it can take like 21 days to germinate. So like 4 days ago, I put it inside a Ziploc baggie, and then I put 2 of them. made 2 of them. I put 1 inside my warming tray, and the other one I wrapped in a black plastic bag and put it on top of my oven because the warming tray gets really hot. Like, I was pretty sure that the one in here was gonna cook. So I just looked and it's already got sprouts on it. They're kind of hard to see, but there's little teeny tiny baby lemongrass in there. And that was the one that was in the warming tray. And it's already sprouted after like 4 days. So I'm taking the other one out of the black plastic bag, and I'm putting that one in the warming tray, and we'll see if we get some sprouts. Something actually worked out for me better than it was supposed to. Hey! So Hazel did not go home with her mama at the end of the day. She went back into her crate instead of going to the coop. I think she just gets picked on too much in the coop and she doesn't want to be around the other chickens. So every single day we bring her outside and we put her cage out here where she can sit in the sun, and she wanders around a little bit and gets a bit of fresh air. But when the day is over, she goes back into her box and we bring her back into the house, and she sleeps in the house every night. So I do not know what will happen to little Hazel. I haven't seen her have any more seizures, but she's not doing very well. Seems pretty obvious that she's in pain. So a part of me thinks that we should put her out of her misery, but I don't want to do that. And that's it for today. I'll see you next week. Thanks for joining me. Take care.